Hey there, Ride the Car Guy here, and today we're going to install some rear heavy-duty springs in this 2021 Ram 1500. Today I'm joined by my brother-in-law and fellow YouTuber from the Bleeping Mechanic, Kyle.
Hello and welcome.
Kyle works on everything from small engines to side-by-sides, quads, dirt bikes, vehicles, trailers, really anything that has wheels. So check out the description below. I put a link to his channel and go subscribe. He's got a lot of great content coming out.
Yeah, Ryan, I'm really excited about this this project that we're working on. This truck is used predominantly for towing, and the current rear springs, they're not cutting it, Ryan.
Definitely not. So we got some new springs from General Spring. We'll show you those in just a minute, but let's get right to it and get this thing ready to tow.
Let's do this.
So for this job, we are going with the Cargo Max heavy duty springs. We got these from General Spring. These are supposed to cover model years 2019 to 2023. And upon first inspection, they look incredibly beefy. These are variable rate springs. We'll have a little comparison later to the stock spring once we pull it out, but I can tell you right now, it's already way beefier than what's in there. The replacement is supposed to be pretty easy. You're supposed to just drop the sway bar, drop the shock, and then lift the body and slap it in. So, well, we'll actually see if that's true. So let's just jump right into it. Now there's two methods to replacing these springs. If you have a lift, of course, the easiest way would be just drop the shocks. So basically remove the two lower bolts on each shock and then lift the truck up. And those springs are literally sitting in there on compression. That's it. They're just being squashed in there and they're kind of sitting in two guides in the top and bottom. The other method is the method that we're gonna do. We're gonna lift the entire truck up and we're gonna put the frame onto jack stands. Then we're gonna remove both tires, and then that way the axle will have a ton of room to drop. It'll loosen those springs. We throw the springs in and reassemble.
So the first step while we're down here, we're gonna go ahead and pop these two bolts out to loosen up the sway bar bracket. These have welded nuts in the back, so an impact makes quick work. Put these away, don't wanna lose them. So we'll go ahead and go over to the other side and do it a second time. All right, so the next thing we have here is dropping this shock. So we're gonna go ahead and remove this nut and bolt so we can free up the bottom of this shock. Got ourselves a gargantuan wrench. Go big or go home, right? Get that on there. I mean, the impact's gonna do most of the work for us. This is a 21 millimeter. Just like that. Then we're gonna go ahead, pop this out. And now we're free. And go ahead and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side.
So as you can see, the shocks are free, nice and bouncy. So now we're just gonna lift on the differential housing. That's gonna lift the whole rear end at once. Then we're gonna throw some jack stands on the frame on both sides and then pop the wheels. And that means that our axle is gonna sort of free float and allow us to get those springs out and put the new ones in. All right, everything's raised up. We have the jack stands in. So we're just gonna drop the wheel and tire on both sides and then drop the axle. Donkey kick.
Oh, got it.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Nice. So another benefit of doing it this way is you guys can kind of see what's going on. It's a little bit easier, but as Kyle lowers it, what's gonna happen is the shock, of course, is gonna lose all of its pressure, right? The weight of the truck is still on the springs, but as we drop this, it'll loosen up.
All right, are we sitting on the jack stands, Ryan?
Yep, we're good.
All right, coming down.
Now, if it gets too low, you're gonna see that your brake lines will start to stress. We're not even close to that yet. We still have bends in them. And I just felt this one release. Look at that. There you go. That one's moving around. I really don't think we're gonna need them, but I do have spring compressors just in case, especially on these standard duty springs. You can squeeze these pretty easily and then pull them out. So it's low enough now that it literally just lifts right out. So I just grab it, lift it up, slide it out. We do need to reuse these. So you wanna be careful with these if they are brittle or anything. This is a 2021, it shouldn't be. But you'll see here, actually right where the spring is supposed to sit, it's nice and clean. So we're gonna grab that and we'll make sure to use it on the new spring. So now check this out. This is the standard spring, and here's our new heavy duty spring. So clearly different.
So right off the bat, we can clearly see there's at least a good inch and almost about another inch in height that we're gonna gain, but the big difference isn't that. It's actually the thickness of these coils. These are about, I would say, a good 15% thicker. And then we've got that variable area there that gives us that little extra. These are gonna help greatly with pulling that camper.
So we're actually gonna go pull the spring on the other side first. Once they're both pulled, then we're gonna install the new ones. I'm just gonna take this opportunity to get a little brass brush here and just brush off the surface where it sits. Really not necessary, but it makes me feel good. All right, so we cleaned up our little top hat here, if you will, and I just did a really thin layer of grease to try to avoid squeaking. And we have the tail of the spring here. On the other side, the tail ended on the back, and over here, the tail ended on the front. So I'm not really sure how much it matters, but we're just gonna match how they were originally installed. So we're gonna flip this over. Make sure you line up that little piece there. So right where it sat in the rubber piece here. So we match that up. And then you're gonna see this ring here. We wanna make sure that this is fully seated right here in the top, and then you just snap it in the bottom, and then you're ready to go. So I'm gonna position the tail of the spring, slide it down, try not to smash the camera. Start to line it up.
It looks like it, no, it's got, yeah, there you go.
There you go. This side is really loose, and so Kyle's gonna go pump up on the axle again and push it all into place. And I'm just gonna very slowly, keeping my hands clear, I'm gonna slowly guide it over that ridge. All right, a little bit more, please. All right, that feels pretty good. If you agree with me, we'll wrap this up.
Yep, it's sitting right in there. There's a nice little donut wedge, and that rubber bushing is sitting perfect in that donut.
Awesome. So now all we need to do, push the axle back up, put our shocks back in to spec, slap our sway bar back in, and we're done. And one tiny bit more. There you go. Very good, thank you. Kyle's gonna grab the other side.
So we're going ahead and we got all the bolts in place, just started by hand, sway bar, as well as shocks. The key thing is we don't want to tighten anything until the vehicle is on the ground and loaded up, because that's the natural riding position of the truck.
All right, shocks are back in place. If you're not lifting by the axle, you would preload it by dropping it back down on its own weight so the wheels are sitting on the ground. But this is preloaded because the weight of the vehicle is supported by the axle, even though the axle is supported by the jack. But we get to drop it now, see how it sits. Oh my, it is high, I can already tell you. So we're gonna pull it outside and we'll show you a little before and after pic. Oh my God, look at this thing. It reminds me of like an old school, like, you know, much older version of the 4-wheel drive trucks.
It looks like a truck. It's going to help out immensely.
Oh yeah, you can tell right away.
Maybe we might have to tackle that front one.
Yeah.
On video. That would be kind of nice.
Yeah, level and kit video maybe, we'll see.
I'm really excited. I will, after this, I'm going to take it home. We're hooking up to that trailer, and I'm going to do some before and after as well. So we're going to see what it's going to look like here shortly.
Excellent.
Appreciate it, Ryan. Lots of help here, and thank you for having me on your channel.
Absolutely, thanks for coming. So here's the before and after. Before, when it isn't loaded up, it kind of looks a little bit like a 2-wheel drive truck, right? Where it's almost a completely flat ride height from front to rear. And then when you see it under load, that's when you really see where the issue is. This thing absolutely needed help when it has a trailer that's right around at its max tow weight. After the fact, like we just showed you, you're gonna see that rear end up much, much higher when it's not under load. And then once we start putting that same exact trailer on it, that's loaded the same way, you're gonna see a massive difference in the way that it's handling that weight. All right, guys, thanks for joining us today, and special thanks to Kyle. Please definitely go check out the Bleeping Mechanic. Again, you'll find the link to that channel down in the description below. If you have any questions or comments about this job, put them down in the comments below. Subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you in the next one.